without wasting any time, this is exactly how you're gonna do it. You're gonna get yourself a food. Oh, you don't want to use a food scale. All right, you're gonna fast at least one time a week for 24 hours. You don't want to do that either. Got you. Listen. So you're gonna make sure that you're in a calorie debt. You heard about a calorie deficit already. I mean, all these things kind of sound familiar because that's exactly what it is. There's no new information under the sun. So while you're looking for what's the next hottest and fastest shortcut, there's no way around the one simple principle that I'm going to teach you that will forever change your life and make sure that you have the same results consistently. The idea is, I think at this point you realize the same meal plans, the PDFs that you're getting, you're downloading, they kind of repeat all the same thing. Yeah, skinless chicken breast is exactly what you want to eat. Tuna fish, lean protein, meat. I mean, at this point, there's really nothing different. I mean, you're going to hear the same information put into different ways and cut up differently. But at the core of it, it's this buzzword calorie deficit because of the law of thermogenetics. Have you heard of it? I mean, calories in, calories out, that whole ordeal. Cool. Now, on the workout standpoint, because nutrition is the hardest thing to get under control because you suffer from food addictions, the workouts is like, I mean, just go in there and try hard. I mean, it doesn't even matter what you put together. As long as you can stay consistent to it, I'm pretty sure that it'll work. I've seen some nasty programs, just disgusting, filthy orders, just calves and arms. I don't know what that has to do with each other, but if you could do it every week, then more power to you. Now, this one principle is identity. What you realize in everything that we just quickly talked about was what can you do? The doing. What are you going to be eating? What are you going to be working out? You've heard all these terms, progressive overload, calorie deficit, calories in versus calories out. And even though that you know those things, they're not creating a transformation that you can see in the mirror that you really want, that you know that you can do, but life keeps showing up and getting in the way. Things get busy. I know even for me in my own story and journey, when I'm working in corporate America over 40 hours a week, going to school at the same time, there was no possible way that I felt like I had enough time and energy to make it to the gym and get a whole workout in and still upkeep every other area of my life. Because you're social, you're a friend, you're a family member, you have all these titles in your life. And then adding health into that can be so overwhelming and burdensome. And the reason why identity comes at the core of that is because if you're not changing who you are, what you're doing is always going to come at the expense of your mind, your mental stability. Who you are dictates what you do and what you believe about yourself. My favorite question ever to ask my clients is, did you brush your teeth today? Did you brush your teeth today? The whole premise behind that is I'm pretty sure you brushed your teeth, right? Because you went to work, you went out, you was talking to people. But why did you brush your teeth? You brushed your teeth because you didn't want people to think of you like a yuck mouth bastard. You didn't want people to think of you to be nasty, your breath stink. Oh yeah, here they come and they're covering up their noses. You want it to be known as someone who has self-respect, who takes care of themselves, proper hygiene. You want to have a nice smile when you talk. You know why you're doing it because of the person who you want to become. And that's no different with school or work. Two of the most complained annoying things on this earth. Everyone knows how much it sucks to be in school. When I was in school, I wasn't doing homework. Some people be like, oh, I hate school. I didn't finish. I ain't finished. I was almost 4 years in. I was like, I can't do this. I'm already working in my dream job doing digital marketing, working in Wall Street, handling projects, working with creative teams. And I'm 19 and I'm like, I'm not going to continue going to school. So in that same way, I want you to apply it to your fitness journey. Liken it to how you approach your health and wellness and what you see in the mirror. Because if you don't know why you're doing it or who you're trying to become out of it, you're only going to get stuck in the doing. And that cycle will continue to show itself to be stagnant until you change who you're being. Who do you want to be? As in, do you see yourself as a fit person? If you don't, fitness is always going to be something that you try to fit into your life, no pun intended, instead of something that you're trying to live through your life. Do you see yourself as an active person who, even though you don't enjoy movement is something that you do? And the crucial components to figuring out and piecing together your identity is your why. Why are you doing it? Why do you go to the gym in the first place? I mean, you hate it. So if you don't have a real reason other than just looking good, because once you accomplish that, you're going to fall off all over again. It has to be something deeper. Caring about your health is not a really deep reason. I've never seen someone care about their health and wake up at 5 a.m. for a workout because they care so much about their health. You don't even have kids and you're like, I want to do it for the future generations. Yeah, that'll get you up. That'll help you go after work after you really don't want to. Nah, you have to have something that is sticking to your identity and who you want to become and the person that you know that God has called you to build. That is your responsibility. That is your stewardship over yourself. And more importantly, that is your straight line to success. Because once you become aligned with that identity and know who you want to be, what you do will always be derivative of that. You heard that SAT word, derivative? You feel me? The vocab is vocabulary. Listen, when you are living in that doing, it doesn't become effortful. It becomes effortless. And that's the same life that you're living right now. Think of it in this way. It's not that you don't have discipline or consistency. We all do. You're disciplined and consistent in the ways that you don't want to be, meaning that you eat that Sunday brunch every week. You're consistent in that. You're actually very disciplined to know your exact order and how you want it, how you like it, and when you want it. That is discipline. Discipline is the act of doing something not just when you don't want to, but in a structure and format that follows a guideline and principle. That's discipline. So you're showing discipline already, but not in the ways that are going to grow you in the ways that you need to. So that's why it goes back to identity. If you're someone who believes that you're tired, you're always sluggish, you don't have time to cook, then you really won't have time to cook. You really will be sluggish. You will be tired. You won't believe that food can heal you and you can get more energy. But if you become the person that is the opposite, that does believe that you can create change, that your body can become a source of energy for you to live your life through and become more presentable, more confident, and show up in times where you usually try to turn down, then now we get this aspect of transformation. Every time you get faced with a choice, especially in a social setting, you return back to that identity point. Are you someone who drinks casually on the willy-nilly? Are you someone who chooses the most convenient meal even if they haven't thought of it? Who are you and who are you trying to be? Because you have where you're starting from and where you're building towards. Write it down, make it plain, understand your why. I like to give this exercise called the 5 whys exercise. With each why, ask another why. So why do I want to be fit? Because I want to look good. Why do I want to look good? Because I want to be married one day. Why do I want to be married one day? Because I want to be loved, affirmed, and cared for by another person. Or, like you have to go down that route of digging deeper into what are your deeper motivations behind why you even showing up. And that way, you know your motivations, you know your motivators, you know what moves the needle. Because the days that you don't want to show up have to have something of substance foundationally to the core of what you believe. Because if someone that you love called you right now and was like, I need you, and your boss like, yo, you can't call out, you got no more PTO, are you going to show up for that loved one that you can depend on? They show up for you all the time, and now they're asking you to show up for them. Are you going to sacrifice for them? You would do it in a heartbeat. You wouldn't even think twice because you know that you love them. Now, how much more can we do that for yourself? Now, if you really find that it's a struggle to take that same concept we're talking about with identity and creating this identity to be able to do health, do fitness, nutrition out of a place where it's not a burden or tiresome and feel like it's a burnout, I created a system specifically called the day deposit for that reason. And the whole premise behind it is that every day you're making a deposit into your health and wellness bank, the same way you would into a financial institution. You wouldn't put $5 in and expect $90 out tomorrow. Same way here. You wouldn't put 2 days in, 3 days in the gym for 2 weeks and expect to be down 10 pounds. The idea is every day you're celebrating the aspect of being alive, having movement. And that doesn't always look like a lift. That always doesn't look like a run. But if we can approach it from a daily standpoint and tie it back to identity and track it from a transformation project from front to back, the results have been like sensational. I've seen someone lose 28 pounds in 30 days. I've seen another person lose 20 pounds in 30 days. But the fastest starts, the biggest successes are always people who have the identity part. And if you're someone who wants to learn how to use a system like that become a lifestyle, you can just hit the link in the description, find some more information, and I'll reach out to see however way I could possibly help. But you'll get a free guide, a breakdown, resources that you can take for yourself and start applying it to your life so that every day you can start seeing the change that you know that you can make.